We took a spill,
Oh.
so
A few weeks ago.
like about 3 weeks ago. So just something, and it wasn't even on element. It was just like a lasso lift, and something went wrong. I hit my face, fractured it. We're good. We're good. I'm on the mend. I'm on the ice now.
And we're training quite a bit. We're just not sort of in competition mode yet.
Yeah.
In the recovery plan that we have, so we're taking this week to train and make sure we're ready for our first event for this season.
But I mean, beforehand, like we were running programs, like we felt healthy and prepared. It's just something's happened, and
That's
it's actually okay. We might be rested and recovered for our first event, so it's not a bad thing.
So what fracture did you have?
My cheekbone. Yeah, so like I can't do any impact. Yeah, so the first thing I hit was my face. There's not much rebound, there's not much cushion there, so, but it was good. It's never happened before, so it's very bizarre, but I just can't do impact stuff right now, so lifts and stuff are limited. So we're just focusing on the skating part, which is actually good, because then we'll be able to work on the details and refining that stuff.
Yeah.
So it might be a blessing in disguise, and maybe because sometimes we tend to be very early in the season, so it might be a slower start for us, and that might be a positive thing. So hopefully looking at it that way.
Yeah, and that's what we have to do as athletes, is be in the mindset that whatever card we've been dealt and whatever happens, we have to just figure out, okay, within these restrictions, within these limitations, given these circumstances, how do we make the most of that?
Yeah.
So,
What's your first event?
Oversurf.
it's coming up.
Never harm. Yep.
Yeah, I think we have
Like
about a
4
month.
weeks.
Yeah.
Was the concern like falling again, or was it just painful, or?
It's still sore. It's just because the fracture is still fragile. So it takes about 6 weeks for it to fully heal. So I just have to wait until that bone is together, because if I hit it again, even with an elbow or something like that, I won't have a cheekbone, which
could be
makes it would be a really bad surgical procedure, and I probably would look like the same person. So we're gonna avoid that part. Like I had a little bit of a concussion, so some lights, so I skate with a hat on. But it's actually good because it kind of gives Paul a little bit of a guard so that I don't get hit. Like the brim keeps me like a little bit of distance. So we're kind of like taking all of this as positives and learning experience, and I don't know. We love our program, so I don't think it was a little thing.
Yeah.
And I don't think it'll stop us from doing it in the program either. So.
Face mask.
Well, that's what they thought. Like they were like, the surgeon was like, "Well, do you want like one of those like clear basketball like things?" And I was like, I mean, if I'll do whatever. If they tell me to wear it, I'll wear it, because it's like just to keep myself safe. But she didn't seem like it was a concern. Just like be careful.
Yeah.
Don't
it's a
get hit
common
again.
injury in basketball from the elbows.
From the
Yeah.
elbows. So. It's the first broken bone really in my body, so I'll take it. You can't see it right now. I mean, the black eye's gone, so.
Can you tell us a little bit about the programs this year?
Yeah, sure. The short dance is a tango, since we all have to do tangos. I think in some ways it's similar to the program we did 2 years ago for the free dance, where it is a little bit more of an old school tango in terms of the music and the stylization. I think at the same time, we've gone for a little bit more in terms of our delivery of it, for like a warmer, more romantic approach. I think the tango 2 years ago was a little bit stoic, and there was sort of this space. And the way we've talked about it a little bit is like, this is sort of like the 30 years beforehand tango when they were young lovers versus
like that passion has been there for years. It's a different take. It's the Piper and Paul beforehand, I guess. The young ones, even though. So it's a great program. But our free dance is something really interesting. We're very, very excited. Carol found this band called Gavardo on Facebook at the Olympics, and she kind of kept it a secret for a long time. And then after Worlds, Paul's very curious about, okay, what idea do you have for us next year?
Well, she kept teasing me.
Yeah, she kept teasing, so you kept asking, and then so we ended up, she showed us on YouTube, and she was like, hey, like, why don't you message them on Instagram, because they had an account. So we messaged them on Instagram, we got their email, we started kind of, talking about the idea, and we met with them on Skype, and then, they were on board right away, because it's something very interesting for them, because they are busker artists. They travel around Europe, and I don't know,
It's good exposure for them.
It's good exposure for them, and
So,
I don't know,
Yeah,
Yeah, keep going, keep going.
Yeah, so the sort of idea behind the program is that it's the story of Van Gogh and how his journey through creating his art actually causes him to suffer and go mad and that sort of thing. And the piece is about the relationship between Van Gogh and his art. And so as a piece of music, it's actually a story Piper and I had explored about 2 or 3 years ago after the Loving Vincent movie came out. And we listened to the soundtrack, but it just wasn't full enough or the right music for skating, so we kind of shelved it and forgot about it. So this is a version of the song Vincent or Starry Starry Night by Don McLean, covered by Gavardo, this UK band. They've composed an instrumental bit for us. They sort of rejigged the song to make it work with the structure of competition and what we needed to do.
Yeah.
And they were so important listening to us and giving us the exact piece of music that we wanted. So it's really allowed us to tell the story that we want to tell.